Hey guys, so today we're coming back with another Cipher video, and today's is very interesting, about the island of Zetsubou no Shima, the Division 9 employees, and the Emperor himself. Yes, that's right, Takio, we all know this by now. But if you do enjoy the video, a friendly reminder, if you could drop a like rating on the video, you could do it right now, it takes a second. I encourage you guys all the time because it really does help me out. But anyway, you don't want to hear that, let's get into it. So this Cipher, I actually don't exactly know where you can locate it. If you guys know, then you can leave it in the comments section below as to where you can find this, but as always, Zetsubou has solved this, and I will link the Reddit post down in the description. But once you decrypt this Cipher, this is what it says: I shut down the power for the night. We must conserve the gasoline, so I am told, because the Emperor is in no doubt of the usefulness of our research here at the Rising Sun facility, and that resupplying the facility will now occur every other month rather than the usually scheduled weekly drops. Hopefully, the new meteor site produces higher grade samples, ones we can actually use. Wait, is that a plane I hear? The resupply is not scheduled for another week. I see a bright light in the sky. So there we go, this is a very interesting Cipher. This Cipher gives us information about Division 9 at Shinonuma. This is before they moved to the island of Pompeii, or to Zetsubou no Shima. We can assume writing this is an employee of Division 9. So they say, I shut down the power for the night. We must conserve the gasoline. As we know, Zetsubou no Shima, the facility there, runs on element 115, but they say for the Rising Sun facility or Shinonuma, they shut down the power for the night to conserve the gasoline. He then carries on by saying, because the Emperor is in no doubt of the usefulness of our research here at the Rising Sun facility, and that resupplying the facility will now occur every other month rather than the usual scheduled weekly drops. We know there is a relationship between the Emperor and Division 9 themselves, hence why at Zetsubou no Shima, both of them work together to capture Takio. The Emperor sent Takio to the Division 9 island, whilst Division 9 took care of him, took him as their prisoner, and used him as their test subject, hence why he became the giant thrasher that we see at the end boss battle. In order to resupply the Rising Sun facility, in order to resupply Shinonuma, they get drops from a plane, but because now these drops will only be occurring every month, they need to shut down the power and save whatever they can. And we see what is possibly these drops happening in Zetsubou no Shima. We see this plane passing through the sky every now and again, but for us in our game it drops perks, but for when Division 9 were here, I guess this plane would have dropped supplies for them on this island sent by the Emperor. Finally, hopefully the new meteor site produces higher grade samples, ones we can actually use. Now if we look at the meteor of element 115 in Shinonuma, which is orange, and then if you look at the meteor we find within Zetsubou no Shima, which is the blue, but they say this new meteor that we find in Zetsubou no Shima, this blue one, is actually a higher grade sample, or hopefully it is a higher grade sample than the one we find in Zetsubou no Shima, which is this orange one. They make it clear that this meteor in Shinonuma, the orange version, isn't very useful. And then it ends with, wait, is that a plane I hear? The resupply is not scheduled for another week. I see a bright light in the sky. This part's very interesting. Now, a bright light in the sky, we've actually heard that before, and this could link up nicely with the meteor we find within Shinonuma. We find just randomly sitting in a swamp, glowing up in the middle of nowhere. It just looks out of place. We have this big meteor of element 115. That could be what this person in this Cipher is talking about. They see a bright light in the sky. This could be this meteor that has come down and hit Shinonuma. Because they say the resupply is not scheduled for another week, so if that's the case, it's unlikely to be the plane that they would usually be getting. But the only thing that would make sense is if this bright light in the sky was a meteor of element 115, most probably the one we see within Zetsubou no Shima. I mean, we know this island is full of element 115 itself, so before this meteor, there would have been other sources they can use, but it is a very interesting Cipher. It doesn't give us too much information regarding to our storyline and the future of where we go for zombies, but nevertheless, it's awesome that they're giving us all of this information. So there we go, guys. Hopefully you have enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are awesome. Thank you for all of the support on this channel. It has been great. A like rating would mean a lot to me. It only takes a second, but if not, don't worry, guys. I appreciate you just coming along anyway. Hit that subscribe button for more zombies videos on my channel, and I will see you all in the next video. Thank you, and goodbye.